Alumna of Service, Pamela Sloan.
1993, I was the director of Frontier Behavioral Health's Crisis Response Services. And several of my friends that were also working at FBH were looking at how can we advance ourselves and become MSWs. And so they actually started a part-time program that allowed us to go to school at night and still work during the daytime. I already had my RN degree, and the social work degree I think really helped to make me well-rounded in terms of serving people. As the director of elder services, I need to understand the macro level issues. You know, system-wide, what is happening across our community, even across the nation, in terms of service delivery. And so that really, Eastern prepared me to understand that higher level of service and what was needed to really put my program together in a way that would best serve people. People have asked me what keeps me, inspired, keeps me going, makes me want to do this work every day. And I always say that it's plain and simple. It's the face of the individuals that we serve. Every time I see one of them and I know that we're able to help them and help them remain in their own homes, that inspires me to go on and to do the work. I had the honor of actually working with a gentleman and his wife in the community. We got the referral from one of our gatekeepers, the law enforcement, and unfortunately this gentleman was experiencing some cognitive difficulties, and he wandered at night, and the police found him in the community and returned him home, and his wife then took him to their family doctor. And the family doctor said, your husband has serious dementia and it's going to advance, and you need to think about looking at out-of-home placement into long-term care. It really bothered her. She just, she couldn't even believe that she would have to do that, place her husband out of the home. So she was just beside herself and in grief. And so when I went to the home for the first time, I had the ability to take our psychiatrist with me, and he spoke to her about the situation, and I spoke to the gentleman. And in my conversation with him, it became apparent to me that it may not be dementia, that it might be depression and some other issues going on with him that's causing his cognitive difficulty. We had 4 months of treatment with him, and at the end of 6 months, I went out to the house to say goodbye to him because he was perfectly well. His concentration was perfect. He was conversive. The depression had lifted, and he and his wife were planning a trip to kind of begin the next journey in their retirement. So that was unreal to see that happen. I'm in the process of retiring from my position at Elder Services, but I want the public and the state, everybody I can tell for that matter, to understand that at-risk older adults will always be in our community. The baby boomers, it's making it look like the baby boomer generation is going to ask for services, and we won't need to worry about finding at-risk older people in our community. But there will always be those older people who will not self-refer, who will not seek services, and we've got to remember that they're there, and we've got to remember we need things in place, systems in place to locate and serve them. If we don't continue to do that, we'll have older people who will suffer greatly in our communities, and we're better than that.